Bob Mwiti, karibu mheshimiwa.
Asante sana Mutembei. How are you doing?
Yes, tuko poa, tunasukuma mashida za hii Kenya tukijaribu kuelezea bottom up approach.
Ah,
So
yeah, I can see politics there. It's getting crazier every day.
so tungetaka utujulishe mali tuliachia last time and then tuingie kwa the topic of today.
All right, no problem. So last, was it on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Sunday. And first of all, I want to apologize. I know maybe there's people out there who are waiting for us to meet yesterday. Gonna be meeting on Wednesdays and Sundays, but yesterday we had some unavoidable circumstances, so we couldn't meet. But for last session on Sunday, I talked about how you can be able to work here on a work visa called H1b Visa, which basically gives you the ability to work here in the US once you graduate from school for up to 6 years. And now today, I want to talk about now how you can be able to live and work here beyond the 6 years, right? If you come here in the US as a very serious master student or an graduate student and you want to graduate from school and work here, how do you do that? How do you stay here long term? Now, for those who are maybe watching me for the first time, my name is Bob, and I came to the US about 11 years ago. I came here in 2009, and I came here as a master's student. Then I went through school. I graduated in 2011. Then I was able to get into corporate world here in the US, in America, through IT, although I didn't have any IT background. And I've shared my story how I was able to get into the IT industry. So I got into the IT industry. I was able now to transition from being on a student visa, okay, to now being a skilled worker and on a work visa here in the US, okay? And the last session, I explained all that. How do you get that work visa? All right. Now, for you now to live beyond the 6 years, because what I said last time was the work visa that we talked about, it's called H1b Visa, which is basically a visa for skilled workers that allows you to live and work here for up to 6 years. Okay, if you have mostly skills that Americans don't have, if you come, you graduate from school, you have a degree from the US, you can get that. But now, if you want to live and work here beyond 6 years, which is basically what most of our people want, anyways, how do you do that? Okay, and how do you do that through employment? Okay, because like I said earlier, the reason why I like sharing this information is because a lot of people out there, they come to the US blindly. Those who want to come and study here, and the serious ones who want to come and study here, for example, like the way I came, graduate and get good jobs. They come here, they don't know exactly what it takes for them to be able to, go out there and be able to work in corporate America and get papers through employment. Okay. So that's why I like sharing all this information. Now, so for you now to to be able to live and work here past the 6 years, you need a green card. Okay, so most of you know about green cards. Green cards it's basically the permanent residency card that is given to people from different countries who want to live and work here for a long time without any conditions. Okay, no conditions at all. Now, there's different ways that you can actually get a green card. You can get a green card through marriage. You can marry an American and get a green card. You can also get a green card through asylum. Okay, basically, you come here, you claim that maybe, in your country, you cannot go back there because of one reason or another, and they can allow you to stay here. Okay, and you can be given a green card. Okay, so most of our people, they get green card through those means. Okay, those people come here. Then of course, most of the people come here from back from Africa and all that. We mostly come as international students. So at some point, they are not able to get green card through any other means. They get green card through maybe marrying someone. Now, marrying someone, like people get married. They can, they get all kinds of marriages. There are some who marry, which is real marriage, and that's fine. But of course, there's others that just do it for just the sake of getting papers. Okay, and we've had stories of people getting into trouble. And if they realize that you did your marriage because of this and this and this, then it can be a lot of problem. It can bring a lot of problems to you. Now, on the other hand, asylum, a lot of people come here, they seek asylum within the first year. For example, you might come here as a student, and then before 1 year is over, you can file for asylum if you have reasons of filing for it. A lot of our people do that. Some get, a lot of others, they don't. So it's more of like, try and error. Okay, you're basically trying your luck within, if you're trying to do that, because it takes so many years also for your case to be approved as an asylee. I don't know much about how that whole process really works, and I don't really like talking about all that, how to get papers through those ways. But what I focus on is the way I got my green card, for example. Okay, and this is the best way. If you come here as a very smart person, you come here, you graduate from school, and you get a good job, you can get your immigration papers or green card through employment. You don't have to look for someone to get married to. Okay, all right. You don't have to figure out how to get asylum and all that. All you need is your brains, just your brains, and you are set. Okay, and the right skills. I've talked about this a million times, that you need. See, for employers here in the US to give you a job and sponsor you, for example, through a green card or employment-based, the other work visa that we talked about, you have to have skills that Americans don't have. Okay, that's how companies can be able to file for you for a green card. A green card is basically sponsored by a company. You can't sponsor it by yourself. Okay, and that's how I got my green card, through a company. Okay, I got trained, I got into the IT industry, I worked for a few years, and then the same company that sponsored me for the H1b Visa, they also sponsored me for a green card. Okay, so now that process, what happens is, the first thing that you have to have is you have to finish your education here in the US and be in the US legally since day one, since when you entered in the US. Okay, because there's sometimes where you might come to the US as a student, then maybe at some point you are not able to pay your school fees, you dropped out of school, then you went back, and if you drop out of school, then you're out of status. They call it here out of status. Basically, you're in the country illegally. So if at some point you're in the country illegally, even if it's one single day, you can't be able to get your immigration papers or your green card through employment, okay, because they track your history when you came here. So that's why it's very, very important from the beginning. Even when you're still in your country, I said that if you are coming here as a student, make sure that you have funding to enable you go through school. Because if you drop out of school, if you are not able now to go to school, because school here is very, very expensive, then you'll be out of status. And now if you're out of status, even if you want to get maybe green card later on through employment, you won't be able to do that. Okay, and that's why also I gave options of how you can get funded to come and study here, especially if you want to come and study masters. Okay, there's ways out. Okay, we have, I said last time, if you follow me, we have lenders that we work with. One of them, it's called Empower Financing. I think Mutembe can pin the link where you can actually check your eligibility. We partner with that lender. Okay, you can click on that link and you'll be able to check whether you're eligible for a student loan. And this is unsecured. You don't have to have any security. You don't have to have any money. All you need to show is that you're smart. Okay, you need to show that you are brilliant. And how do you do that? You have to be coming to a very good school here in the US that partners with this lender. You also have to you must have done very well in your undergraduate, maybe maintaining a GPA of like 3.0, which is like at least a second class division. Okay, also if you can be able to do one exam called GMAT exam and get a very good score, you can be able to show that, because these lenders, they don't just want to lend to just anybody just because you want to get a loan to come and study here. No. Okay, you have to show that you are really good student, because what they do, they base, when they are doing the underwriting for these loans, they look at your probability of getting a job here in the US once you graduate from school, because this is an unsecured loan. Okay, and you know, someone who is very sharp, someone who is smart, they have a high chance of getting a good job here in the US. They have a high chance of getting sponsored by companies on green cards and stuff like that. Okay, so that's how they end up lending you money to come and study here. Okay, especially if you're coming for your master's. So if you're out there and you are wondering, oh, where do I get all the money needed to come and study in the US? Click on that link. It's Empower Financing. They are our official partners. Okay, you use them. Okay, we basically, because what we do as a company, we bring students to come and study here. We use our students to get these loans from this land, and you don't have to have any collateral or any security. Okay, now going back to the green card process. So now, let's say, for example, you've graduated, okay, and then you got that H1b visa from your employer that we talked about. If you haven't watched my previous videos, please go to YouTube and watch. Okay, it's very, very important. Go through there, watch all these videos, okay, so that you can have an idea of exactly what we've been talking about. So now, once you get your H1b visa, what you need to do, because that H1b visa gives you ability to work of up to 6 years, what you need to do is you need to tell your employer, hey, you know what? I want to live and work here long term. Okay, past the 6 years. Okay, can you guys file for my green card? Okay, as long as you have at least 2 years of experience, the company can be able to file for your employment-based green card, for your green card through employment. Okay, through employment. All you need to do is just work for 2 years. Or maybe if you had some experience back in your country, because I know a lot of people, especially who come here to do masters or even PhD, these are people who have been working back home. So if you have some experience of at least 2 years, you don't even need, if you have that kind of experience, you don't even need to get the H1b visa first. You can actually graduate from school with your student visa, get that work authorization that we talked about in my previous sessions. If you're watching this, called optional practical training, that work authorization you are given after you graduate from school. And that's the one that you normally use now to find employers who can be able to sponsor you either on green card or H1b visa. Okay, so if you have some experience, you actually don't have to, the company doesn't have to file for you H1b visa. They can file for you green card directly. Okay, remember, in my previous sessions, I said that H1b visa nowadays, there's a lottery. Okay, there's a lottery for H1b visas. Okay, because the US government gives about 85,000 H1b visas every year, but there is more applications that come in on a yearly basis. In fact, actually, as we talk now, they usually have around 300,000 applications. So, and the government has to only give 85,000. So the rest, they don't get the H1b visa. So what they do a lottery. So you might get it, you might not. And I said that it's good that you come on a STEM program, because a STEM program, if you come to do a STEM program, let's say, for example, for your master's, you get up to 3 years of your post-graduation work authorization, okay, which now gives you enough time. If you don't get picked in the H1b visa, you still have 2 more years, okay, 2 more chances every year to get picked in the H1b visa, because that lottery is done every year around the month of April. Okay. So now, let's say, for example, you have some experience, you actually don't need to go through that H1b visa process. Okay, if you have some experience, you ask your company, hey, you know what, I have all this experience, can you please file for my green card? And they can do that. Okay, so now what companies do is that they normally have to advertise for your position. Okay, you don't tell them, hey, I want you guys to file for me a green card, and then they just file it immediately. No, remember I said, when you come here in the US and you really, really want to work here, you need to have skills that Americans don't have. And this is why a lot of our people are not able to do that. They struggle. Okay, they come here, they have no skills, nothing, and then they struggle because most of our people, they actually don't get green cards through employment. They use the other means that I've talked about. Okay, the U.S. government gives about gives 140,000 green cards through employment every year. Every year, 140,000. Okay, and these are divided equally among countries. So each country gets about 9,800 visas for green card. Okay, all right. Now, countries like Kenya, they don't use all their green cards because not many people apply for employment-based green cards from Kenya or even other African countries. So what happens, all these green cards that are not used by our countries, they usually go to Indians. Indians, guys, I keep on talking about Indians, you think I'm crazy about them. I've worked with these people in the IT industry because 70 to 80% of those people who work in the IT industry, they are Indians. Most of them, they have skills that Americans don't have, especially in the IT industry. So they are the ones who take up all these green cards and all these employment-based, H1b visas. They are the ones who take up all those. You will never find so many of our people getting these employment-based green cards and H1b visas for some reason. And that most of our people who come here, these are people who come here as international students. Okay, and that's why I always like talking about these things, because we need to change. Because I see a lot of our people struggling here in the US. I'm telling you, I've seen people struggle here. You know, people call us because we have a company to help immigrants, right? Those who want to get jobs in the tech space. You get all kinds of calls. And people struggle here. People came here a long time ago. They came as international students. They have no idea how to get papers. So most of them, they live underground with no authorization to live and work here. Okay, and I said 30% of our immigrants, of our people from our countries, from Africa, that percent of them, they don't have any legal documents to live and work here in the US. Okay, it's only that we don't talk about these things because it's a very, very sensitive issue. Okay, and when you land in the US, I'm telling you, when you land in the US as a student, that's when you realize how important having a green card is. From day one, everybody will start asking, they'll start telling you, hey, mambo ya makaratasi yako, how do you sort it out? So if you don't have a plan, or if you don't strategize on how to get your papers, you're going to be struggling. You're going to be here many years down the line, you don't have any immigration documents. And if you don't have any immigration documents, like for example, a green card or work authorization, even if you're smart, you're going to be doing these odd jobs. You're in America, but you're not making money. A lot of our people, it's only that you don't talk about things. You have so many of our people. They came from Africa. They came here as students. They didn't get the green card. They didn't figure it out. Okay, now they are here, but they don't have the documents to work. When you don't have the documents to work, then you can't be able to work in corporate America. It's what it is. You can't, for example, do the kind of jobs that I used to do. Me, I used to work as a systems analyst, making 6-figure salary, basically being employed, earning about 1 million Kenya shillings a month. Those kind of jobs, you need a green card. You need the right papers. Okay, and you can't make that kind of money if you are doing these other jobs, maybe working in a fast food. If you're working in a fast food, you're gonna be making minimum wage. You'll barely make enough money to even take care of your living expenses here in the US, leave alone even sending to your family back in Kenya or back in Africa. So that's why it's very, very important. If you're out there and you're smart, it's very, very important that you understand these things, because this is what a lot of our people don't know before they come here. And they come here now, they start struggling. They don't have good jobs. Most of our people, they don't have good jobs. Okay, we have so many people working in nursing homes. We have so many people working in warehouses. And these are people who are smart. They came to school. They are brilliant, but they don't have the right documents. So there is no other job that they can be able to work. And if you do those kind of jobs, No one will pay you that kind of money. You'll never make like $1 million Kenya shillings, $10,000 a month. No. To make that kind of money, you have to have skills that Americans don't have. Right. And that's why I said even in my previous session with Mutembei that, I mean, if you have a skill that, a high income skill, that's when you get paid well. I mean, skill that most Americans don't have, for example, IT consulting and things like those. But when you don't have anything like that, you're going to be working all these other jobs that just pay you minimum wage. Because those jobs, they pay that kind of money because anybody can do that kind of a job. Okay? That's why it's very, very important. When you come to the US as a student, before you graduate, look for, some trainings where you can be trained on job skills. That's exactly what I did. I got trained in IT. Okay, and remember me, I said I had no IT background. In fact, actually, IT was never my cup of tea. Me, I had an accounting degree from Kenya, BCom. Came here to do my MBA, but I couldn't even find a job as an accountant. I was struggling. I couldn't. So that's how I got into the tech industry. I got trained as a systems analyst to implement Oracle system. Those kind of skills, most Americans, they don't have. People who have those kind of skills, it's Indians. And they are the ones who take up all these, H1b visas, work visas, and green cards. You never find a lot of our people being in the tech space. Very few of them. Very few. Right? Very, very few of our people make, are in the tech industry and making really, really good money. Okay. In fact, and I said this, like most from African community, the ones that do very well here in the US, it's usually Nigerians. Nigerians, they are very sharp, by the way. And they are very, Nigerians, they don't just sit there and wait for things to happen. They grind. You find a lot of them. I've seen, because we have a consulting company. I've seen a lot of them, and even some of them working for us. Nigerians, they do very well. They are the ones who earn the most money here in the US in terms of Africans. Okay, Kenyans, you are not even close. A lot of our people think like Kenyans, you are like so, like hardworking, and you could be hardworking, but you are not working smart also. Like I see a lot of our people doing a lot of jobs here where they are like working like 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week. I mean, that's hard work. Because now the problem is they are working in jobs that are not paying them very, very well. If you're working in, let's say, for example, in the tech space as a consultant and making $10,000, that kind of job, you're gonna be working from Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 p.m., 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. You don't need to work overtime. But now, if you do these other jobs, if you are working, for example, in a warehouse, if you are working, let's say, for example, in a nursing home, you're not going to be making a lot of money. And now for you to make good money, at least some decent amount of money, then you're forced to work overtime. And that's why you see a lot of our people, they work so many hours. Okay, you find like a family, the husband, the wife, all of them, they are like working 60, 80 hours. You have no time for your family. That's the life of so many people here in the diaspora. It's only that we don't talk about these things. It's only now that when you come here, that's when you realize what the reality on the ground. All right. And that's why I always like talking about these things. If you're out there and you are very, very smart, don't come here blindly, because you're going to come here and people will start telling you, hey, you know what? The only way that you can make money is getting in the healthcare. There's nothing wrong being in the healthcare. Okay, don't get me wrong. You're watching Success with Bob Mwiti Show, presented to you by Upstack America. Upstack America is a consulting company that helps immigrants find amazing higher education and job opportunities in the tech industry in the United States. You can find our programs by going to www.upstackamerica.com. Upstack America, we wake you up to the unlimited potential within you. A lot of our people in the healthcare industry. I mean, if you are in the healthcare industry, there's healthcare, it pays somehow well. Okay, you can get some good money if you're working as a nurse. But also, remember even working as a nurse, also there's like a lot of hours that you have to do, even for you to make like good money. Okay, right? So, I mean, these are things that you need to understand, right? Because not everybody can be a nurse. Because I get a lot of our people saying, hey, you know what? Oh, the only way that you can make money is become a nurse. No, no, no. That's not the only way that you can make good money here in the US. There's other ways that I don't see a lot of our people trying, especially in the tech space. And also even in the tech space, it's not for anybody out there. But if you are out there and you are smart, because also tech requires smart people, there's really, really good money. There's no way that you can compare a nurse with an IT consultant. A nurse will barely make $10,000 a month, barely, unless they work, I don't know how many crazy overtimes. Okay, but as an IT consultant, $10,000, that's normal. That's normal. All you need to do is have the right skills. Have the right skills. There's so many technologies out there in the tech space that people have no idea about. So many of them. For example, robotics, AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all that good stuff. Okay, pays amazingly well. All right. Okay, so it's all up to you. What do you want? So don't come here blindly and then you start hearing people telling you, oh, do this. Now you come here, maybe you had a business degree from your country, and then now someone is telling you to get into the healthcare, right? And it's something that even you never even wanted. Okay, because I see a lot of people also in the healthcare, and they now try to change into maybe IT, and they are like, oh, you know what, Bob? What I do, I don't like it. Because also healthcare, it's not for everybody out there. Healthcare is a calling. Healthcare is a calling. Can you imagine now, working in hospitals and all that? It's a calling. And it pays decently, but also it's a calling. So you have to know these things. So don't just come here blindly and then be told, okay, this is the only way that you can make money. No. Get to know these things way before even you get here. Get to know which are those skills that actually you can be able to get jobs. Now, how do you get trained on those job skills before even you graduate from school? Because I said, you need job skills. In fact, actually, this country, you don't need academic skills that much. Job skills. That's what I did. I got trained as a systems analyst, and that's how I was able to get into the industry. I couldn't get into the tech industry with my BCom and MBA. No. If anything, I was struggling. Finding even internship, it was a problem. I remember even going for an interview for a teller job with Wells Fargo Bank. Okay, and I could not get that job. Teller job with my MBA and my BCom from Kenya. All right, and I used to work as a teller at Equity Bank back in Kenya for 6 months before I got here. All right, and I could not get that kind of a job, and I was so down when I couldn't get that job. And it's a job that would have paid me like $11 an hour. But I didn't know much. And this is what a lot of our people struggle with. They graduate from school, they're not making money. They have no idea how to make good money. And that now, when you compare what these other guys are making, like Indians, every Indian who comes to this country, they know exactly what they're gonna be. They know they're gonna graduate. They know they're gonna be trained on job skills somewhere. Okay, especially in the IT industry, because most consulting firms in the US, most of them they are Indian-owned companies. They train them, okay, and then they get them all these good IT jobs. Indians, they're the ones who make most money here in the US. They make more money than the Americans. If you go to the best neighborhoods, for example, where I live here in Tampa, Florida, who lives there? You won't find Kenyans. You won't find Kenyans. All right. Apart from white people, the people who will find there, mostly immigrants, it's Indians. It's Indians. And why? Because they are in the careers that make money. Money. Not just any kind of money just out there, something anybody can do. No. We are talking of making at least $10,000 a month. When you're making that kind of money, right, you don't even have to wait for your next paycheck. That's the beauty of it, right? So how do you get that? You can't just get that with just just having nothing. No, right? That's why you need to get trained, and that's how you can also be able to get these green cards. So if you have the skills, you tell your company, hey, you know what? File for me. I have the skills. File for me for the green card. Okay. So anyway, so once you tell the company, so the company, what they do is they are required by the US government to advertise for that job that they are giving you. So that's why I told you, if you really want to get a green card through employment, you need to have skills that Americans don't have, because these companies are required by the US government to advertise for the same job that they want to give you. They have to do advertisement, and they have to show that they've actually advertised for some weeks. Push adverts out there on newspapers, on the internet, advertise for the same job, and actually try to recruit. And now, once they recruit, if they can't find any American, then now they will show to the Labor Department of the US that they were not able, they did the recruitment, they advertised for your job, they did the recruitment, these are the people who applied for the job, they did the interviews, and these are the reasons why we could not pick this candidate who was an American. And this is the reason why we picked you. For example, me as Bob. Okay, so that's why it's very, very important that you have these skills. Now, if you don't have them, if you just have an MBA, every American out here has an MBA. Come on. If you come with your become like the way I did, every American out here, they have degrees, and they are struggling. They are trying to get all these jobs that are paying $15, $20. Okay, so you see now why it's very, very important for you to have those skills, because the company will actually have to advertise for that job. That's a requirement for them to file for your green card. So they do that. It takes about 6 months for that process. Okay, that advertisement, recruitment, and everything, and filing with the Labor Department of the US. Okay, that whole process until now they push in your application, and then you get approved. It's called labor approval. Okay, now after that, then now the company will again have to file something called change of it's basically where they file to the immigration services here in the US, telling them that now this person, we advertised for the job, we couldn't find anyone, and we got approval from the Labor Department. Now we want to employ this person as an alien, as an immigrant from another country. So the company submits that request to the immigration services here in the US. So these guys, immigration services, USCIS, these are the ones who deal with immigration services for anybody who wants to live and work here. So your company now submits that request asking the immigration services guys to approve you now, all right, as an immigrant to get a green card. Okay, so that's another process that takes about 6 months maximum. All right, and then now after that, once you get approved, then now finally the company now will submit a change of status request. Okay, you submit a change of status request, basically meaning you change whatever status that you are in, immigration status, to now a green card holder. For example, if you are on a student visa, you change now from being a student to a green card holder. If you are a H1b holder, which is a work visa that we talked about, then now you change your status from that to a green card holder. And that process can take up to 6 months before you get approved. Okay, so that's a process. So it might take you up to 18 months. Okay, up to 18 months. Now, here's the thing. If, for example, if you came here to the US, you have some experience back in your country of more than 2 years. I get a lot of people here who come from masters. They have a lot of experience back in their country, right? Let's say, for example, you have some IT experience back in your country. And then you come here and do a STEM program, for example, business analytics. And I said STEM program gives you up to 3 years of post-graduation work authorization called optional practical training, OPT. Okay, now if you come here and you have that kind of experience and you take a STEM program, once you graduate, you can get a company, tell them, hey, you know what? I have all these experience. I've been working in my country. Okay, I have a lot of experience in the, as an IT consultant. File for my green card. You don't need the H1b filing. No, green card, straight to green card. Okay, because I've said green card will take around 6 months before you get it. All right. So now, because now you've graduated with a STEM program, STEM now gives you up to 3 years post-graduation work authorization. So now, if the company starts that process of filing for your green card immediately, you'll be able to get your green card even before your OPT expires, is over. Because you have an OPT of up to 3 years. And now you've started filing for your green card, which takes about 18 months. So even by the time your OPT expires in 3 years, you'll have your green card. You have your green card. Okay, so this is how you need to think about these things, right? I mean, don't just come here blindly. That's why it's very, very important that you get all this information. All right, before me, I didn't know about these things before I got here. And that's why initially I was struggling. But me, the good thing with me is I'm a very inquisitive person. I like trying to see what these other people are doing. I was very inquisitive. I was looking at all the Indians that I was in school with. I could see all of them, they are succeeding. They're graduating, getting good jobs in the tech industry. And I started following them. Me, I got into the tech industry, not because an African told me about it. No. If anything, every African that I knew, they were telling me, oh, go into healthcare. Oh, do this. Okay. But I got into tech industry, doing what I used to do because Indians showed me the way. Because they showed me the way. And that's how I was able to get a green card. Okay, if you have a green card here, it's very easy for you even to start a business. All right, because even like my company, I started my company in 2017. All right, 2017. But before then, I couldn't start the company because the visa that I was on, which was the work visa, the temporary one, which is H1b Visa, that visa could not allow me to have my own company and also get employed by another company at the same time. You can only work for one employer at any given time if you have that H1b Visa. Okay, so that's why the dream of any immigrant who comes to the US is to actually get a green card, because a green card gives you the liberty to work for anybody, anytime. Okay, you can decide to work for 5 companies even if you want. No problem. You can start your own company and start working for it. No problem. And even work for another company on the side. No problem. But if you're on H1b Visa, that work authorization that we talked about, that only limits you to just one company at any given time. So that's why it's very, very important that you get to know how to get this green card, especially through employment, because it's possible. I preach these things because I've gone through that path. Okay, although our people, like I said, they don't get employment-based green cards. Okay, they struggle to get green cards through other means, which we've talked about. I don't want to repeat again. Maybe you can rewatch this video, right? They try to get green cards through those other means. I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, it's still an option, right? But if you come here and you're smart and you have the brains, you have the skills, you don't need to marry somebody, all right? You don't, because you have the skills. Those skills, I told you, Americans, they want smart people. They want smart people. That's why they give these green cards. 140,000 employment-based green cards every year, 140,000. And 90% of those ones, they go to Indians and Asians. You rarely find our people getting them. Very few of our people. You can count them who get these. And yet people are out here struggling. You ask people, like, they have no idea that you can even get a green card through employment. Most people out there, they don't know. They don't know. They think like it's not for them. It's for somebody else. Of course, it's for somebody else because you don't have the skills that the American government is looking for. That's what you need. You can't just ask any company out there to sponsor you and then you have nothing to show for it. Why should they sponsor you? Why should they spend money on you as an immigrant filing for your green card? It costs at least $10,000. Lawyer fees alone is a lot of money. And then the money that is needed to actually submit those applications. And then remember, I've said, like, they have to actually show that they're hiring people. Okay, all that recruitment process, it's a lot of money that they need to spend on you. Why do you think a company will be willing to spend money on you when they know that you don't have a skill that Americans don't have? They may start the process for you, and then it may not be approved because you don't have the skills that Americans don't have. That's why I said from the beginning, the first, stop thinking about even green cards. The first thing is to know, first of all, what are you coming to study here? Is that program a STEM program or not? Also, I said, come for masters. Don't come for undergraduate. Come for masters because you can get funding. You can get a loan. And you don't have to use a loan for the 2 years that you're going to be doing your master's. Just get a loan for the first semester. After that, you do well in school, you're going to get scholarship. That's what I used to use. Most schools out there, they give something called Graduate Assistantship Awards. I talked about it in my previous session. That's all you need. First semester, get a loan. Maybe because sometimes it's very hard for you to get a Graduate Assistantship Award when you're still in your country. Come here, first semester, get in with a student loan, unsecured loan, right? Then after that, perform well in school, get a GPA of at least 3.0. You're going to get a Graduate Assistantship Award. You don't need anything else. And they give you stipend every month. So you're all set. And then also I said, if you can, because me, I like addressing smart people. Okay, because I see a lot of our smart people here struggling, and it pains me seeing people like me who can do very, very well here in the US struggling, making peanuts. Okay, and we don't talk about these things. So again, if you can, do a STEM program. Don't just come here, just do anything, because that's what I see a lot of our people coming and doing. Or if you can do if you can do, let's say, for example, an MBA, you can do also business analytics. You can also do operations management, right? These are STEM programs. You can also do project management. These are STEM programs. These are not very hard programs. They are not. They are not. That will give you 3 years of post-graduation work authorization. It's a big deal. It's a big deal having those 3 years of your OPT. Okay, so please don't come blindly. Also, a lot of our people have said, I've said many times that so many people, they just get some bank statement from somebody, and then they go to the embassy, they present them. Somehow maybe they're able to get the visa, although the odds of getting the visa are very low. Okay, I've talked about how you can make sure that you get a visa, because also me, I was denied visa 4 times. Okay, do you know all these things? Okay, all right. So a lot of people out there, they get bank statement from somebody, and then somehow they're able to come here, but then they come here, they think that you can be able to work and go to school and be able to pay for your education. That's not possible. I mean, it's very expensive, very, very expensive to go to school here. If you're coming for masters and you, let's say, for example, in a good state university, it's going to cost you approximately about $25,000 per year. Now, for 2 years for a master's program, that's like $50,000. Where will you be able to get $50,000 working? You know, when you're working as a student, you're working minimum wage. Because this is the mistake that I see a lot of our people doing. And that's why now you find so many people, they come here, they are not able to keep up with school because they can't be able to pay for their school fees, and then they drop out of school. Now, if you drop out of school and you are still, even if you are still a very smart person, but you dropped out of school, it means you're in the country illegally. Now, if you're in the country illegally, then it means you can't even be able to work good jobs that you've been talking about, where you are making good money in corporate America. So you see how you screw up your thing from the beginning, right? So that's why it's very, very important you understand these things. First step, get that funding. And that's why I told Mutembe to pin the link where you can actually check your eligibility for a student loan. There's the link there that is showing on the screen. Check that link, because we work with these guys. All right. We are the official partners. All right. We use their loans for our students. We have an amazing, amazing program called the Kenya Airlift Program. If you want to check out that program is for brilliant Kenyans. Brilliant. Underline brilliant. It's not just for anybody. Those who are smart and they want to come here and succeed. That's their program. Okay, you must have done very well in school. Okay, and you must be willing to study an IT program, master's program here in the US. So if you're one of those, you can go to kenyaairliftprogram.com, www.kenyaairliftprogram, as in program.com. Go there, check it out. Okay, we have a bunch of students who are also coming this coming week through the program. We share a lot of those videos of them coming and all that. You can go to my YouTube channel, check out. I share a lot of information about the program, a lot of other information about how to come here in the US, as a student, the right way, how to get your funding. Okay, I share information that no one tells you about. Okay, because most people out there, they just give you the information that you want to hear. Right? That's the sweet stuff. Okay, but me, I like sharing the reality on the ground for those serious ones. Right? If you want to come here as a student, now, how do you transition? I share those kind of details, exactly what you need to do. Not just telling you, oh, just come. Because a lot of our people, they get told, oh, you know what? Oh, you want to come to America? Just get a visit visa. Okay. Or someone tells you, okay, I'm gonna invite you and come here. If you come on a visit visa, let's say, and I see a lot of our people, man, and I go crazy. A lot of our people who are doing so well back in our countries. Maybe they are managers somewhere, doing decent. They come here on a visit visa. And when you come on a visit visa, you won't get, the work authorizations. So the only job that you can be able to do is all these odd jobs. And back in your country, you used to work maybe as a manager in a big multinational firm. And now you are here, doing some jobs that you can't even tell people back in your country that's what you do. A lot of our people. Because they get misadvised. All right, they get misadvised. They are told, oh, you know what? There's a conference somewhere. Just try to get a visit visa to go to that conference. Okay. Then they get here. What I always preach is this: if you are smart, don't come. If you really want to come here and stay here long term, if you really want to come here and stay here, work here, live here, do well, have a very good job, don't come on a visit visa. Don't, because you're going to be struggling. But a lot of people out there, they just want to leave the country, and then they come here, they get stuck, and then they start crying. Oh, I can't get a good job. We get these cases on a daily basis, I'm telling you, because we have a consulting firm. We help people get good jobs here in the US. So you get these cases, a lot of them. Man, if you're smart, don't come like that. Get to school. I said a student visa has a clear path to citizenship. That's what I've been explaining. How do you transition from being a student, graduate, get that OPT authorization, then get maybe H1b Visa if you don't have any, experience back in your country, which of course a lot of our people don't. So you just file the H1b, and then after that get a green card. Then after that, if you want, you can become a citizen. Right now, me, I'm a green card holder. In a couple of years, in less than 2 years, I can decide to become an American citizen if I want to. Okay, that's what I'm saying. A student visa has a clear path to citizenship. It's the best non-immigrant visa out there that you can use to come in the US if you really want to come here and not go back. Okay, so if you're a smart person, you're brilliant, you're bright, you have an education back in your country and a graduate, even if you hear, okay, there's this, you can come here for someone's graduation or whatever, don't do that. Apply to come for a master's program. You can get a master's program, knock it off within 1 year. Most master's programs out there, you knock it off within 1 year. You are done. You come here, let's say, for example, Master of Science, Business Analytics program. 1 year, you are done. Okay. And you can get here, you said, you can get a loan. You don't need a scholarship because scholarships, sometimes they are so hard to get. Get a student loan just for the first semester. Come here, do well. After that, you're going to be getting graduate assistantship award every semester. You don't need the loan anymore. Okay. Most likely, you're going to take a loan of around maybe $5,000 to $10,000. That's nothing when you can be able to work later on $10,000 a month. That's what I always tell people. Be smart. Be smart about it. Don't come as a visitor. Get into a master's program. And by the way, masters, even if you are 40, even 50, you can still come. Masters is not done by people who are just in their 20s. No. Anybody in their 30s. We have people in our programs who are over 40. They're coming for masters. Come for a master's. Just 1 year, you're done with your master's. that Master of Science in Business Analytics, for example, will give you 3 years post-graduation work authorization, which you said it's a big deal. Then, because now even for you, maybe if you have a lot of experience back in your country, then you can, within those 3 years, you can get a company to sponsor you. Okay, and then once you get here, get trained on IT skills. Even our company do these training programs. For us, it's not just, by the way, if you come through our programs to come and study here, it's not just about getting you a school here, because also we know it's not rocket science for you to get a school here. You just need to go online, Google, and you can be able to find a school and apply. It's that easy. But what else? So for us, we do training programs. We have job skills training programs on the side. All right. Apart from just bringing you to school here and getting you funded. Remember, I told you we are the official partners, lending partners for Empower Financing for loans. Okay, our company, Upstack America, right? And then now we train you. Once you're here in school and you're going to school, we get you trained on some amazing job skills. Some of them, they don't require you to know any coding. You can come here with any kind of background. Like, for example, the way I came, I don't know how to code, and I've been in the tech industry. We have training programs on robotics, data science, Oracle. Okay, if you go to our website, you can be able to see all that. So we train you on the side, and this is for free. This is part of the whole package. And also we help you get jobs because we've been there. Personally, I've been there. I came as a student. I know the struggles. I know the challenges. I know the challenges that international students face. In fact, actually, I formed the company based on the challenges personally that I faced. And I was like, you know what? I think we should have a solution for this. We should have a solution for our people. How do they get good jobs in corporate America? How do they get papers? Because a lot of our people are struggling getting papers, immigration documents, green cards. How do you do that? Okay, we didn't have anything like that, and that's why we came up with something, all right, to help these people who are coming here, those who are smart and they are very serious about coming and studying here. We help them throughout the whole journey of coming to the US. Once they are here, once they go through school, they graduate and everything else. They don't have to worry. Okay, so if you want that, you can go to our website. It's www.upstackamerica.com. So what I'm gonna do, because I can see time is moving really quick, Mutembe, I think I'll try to answer some of the questions because I have like 8 minutes and then we can stop. So someone is asking here, I have a question to you, Mr. Bob. You keep saying you should have a skill which Americans don't have, right? Can you name those skills which they don't have to be straightforward? One of them is IT consulting skills. IT consulting skills. For example, you can get trained as a business analyst. Okay. And there's a lot of technologies out there. All right. As a business analyst, you can be trained, for example, robotics, process automation, business analyst. You can train, like, for example, I was trained on Oracle systems analyst. Okay. You can get trained on data science, for example. These are the skills that Americans don't have. I've said this, if you follow me, that IT, and not just any IT consulting, not many Americans are into that space. Also, healthcare also is good. Although I don't know much about healthcare, though it's what I hear, but I'm not into healthcare. So I can only speak, because you see also, I like advising people on what I really know. IT is one of those areas that you can be able to get papers and good jobs, because most Americans, they don't have the skills. And not just any IT out there. Don't have a skill of fixing someone's computer when it's broken and think like this is a skill that is very marketable or Americans don't have. No, I'm not talking about that. Okay, that kind of a job won't even pay you good money. I'm talking about solving complex problems for companies, IT problems. Company want to implement some software. Okay, they need brains. They need the best brains out there. Okay, show that you have those skills. That's how you'll be able to, they're gonna sponsor you. That's what I did. Okay, I was trained to implement a very complex system called Oracle. Okay, to implement it from the front end. I don't even know how to code, because a lot of people out there, they fear IT so much. Oh, I can't do IT. It's for people who know how to program. No, I can't even write one single line of code. All right, so that's what I did. And that's what we focus on also in our company, right? We have IT training programs. And you can do those kind of programs, especially if you have like a business background and IT, BCom, all those things, MBAs and all that stuff. You can do. I had a MBA, I had a BCom from Kenya. I didn't have any IT background. So those are the kind of skills that we are talking about, the person who asked about that question. So Davis is asking a question to you, Bob. What are those companies that you are talking about? There's a lot of companies out there that do training programs. For example, us, you are one of them. There's so many out there. You just need to do your research. Go on the internet, check. Okay, check out. There's so many consulting firms out there. Mostly, especially in the tech industry, most of them, they are Indian-owned companies. I was trained by Indian companies. Because also, you see, most Americans, because American companies, most of them, they understand our problems, right? You see, an Indian company, this is owned by Indians. Indians are immigrants like us. Okay, and they understand our needs. For example, if I go to an Indian company and I have the skills, they've trained me. They are training you and they want you to work for them, and they know that you need a green card or you need an H1b Visa. They know all that, and they'll be willing to help you as long as you're working for them, because now if you're working for them, they make money, and of course they spend some money on you. Okay, so it's, you have to provide value to them. So you get trained by them, right? They get you employed, they work in their projects, they make money off you, and then they sponsor you. That's how it works. Okay, that's how it works. All right, but now if you graduate from school, me, when I graduated from school, I was looking for jobs from American companies. Oh, Bank of America, oh, this. If you go there and you're an international student, they don't want to hire you because as an international student, they know that you don't have work authorizations to live and work here long term. Maybe if you come for an MBA, you only have 1 year post-graduation authorization. Which company want to spend so much money to hire you, and then you're gonna leave after 1 year, or you can't be able to work after 1 year? So that's why you need to be smart about these things. Approach these other companies, mostly owned by Indians, okay, or even us, for example, because we understand the problems of immigrants. Ukienda kwa kampuni ya America, hata wajui hizo story, uanze kuambia sijui I want a green card, sijui what, hata elewa. Okay, so these others, they can understand. If you come, for example, to our company, of course, then you talk to me, of course I'll understand you, I'll guide you and exactly what you need to do. Go to an American company, they don't get all this. Okay, they won't want to deal with you. Okay, another question David is asking, is it a must that you have working experience and skills that when you can apply, or anyone? I mean, I said when it comes to jobs and getting papers through employment here in the US, you have to have the skills that Americans don't have, period. That's the bottom line. Okay, unless you want to come here and then you can find, see, I said there's other means of getting, let's, for example, a green card, maybe through marriage, right? You get someone, you do whatever you have to do and then get a green card. It's possible, although it can be risky. So it's up to you, right? Yeah, but I always like trying to address really serious students who want to come and study here and graduate and get good jobs. Edley, can your company train people from Kenya without coming to the US and get certificate? Yeah, we do training programs. Our training programs are all entirely online. You can train. We actually give very huge discounts to anybody who is out there. In fact, actually up to 50% discount. Okay, anybody who's in a third world country. Yeah, and we can train you. We can package you nicely, and you can actually, show you how to get jobs wherever you are in your country. For example, Kenya, for that matter. Someone is saying, I know about Oracle is mostly system used to run like big hospitality industry administration. Yes, Oracle can be used across various industries, okay? And it's a very, very complex system. Me, I was trained on a very small area of Oracle, which is Oracle Financials. Basically, the system that companies use to record their day-to-day transactions. For example, expenses, recording revenue, and running financial reports. That's what I was trained on. But there's a lot of other areas within the Oracle space that you can get trained on. See, in IT consulting, you just need to focus on one small area. You don't have to be a jack of all trades. No. Just one specific niche. Just very small. And that's all. Okay, I've said that this many times. Like, high income skills, you don't need to know everything. Just very small piece, very, very small, and be good at that. You're going to make a lot of money. Wycliffe Kipkoech, do they value practical more than academic one alone? Yeah. That's what I said. Like, if you come just here with just your academic skills alone, it's going to be very hard. Very hard. But combine your academic with your job skills. You're going to do well. Abule, those without degrees, do we have hope? Well, in my sessions, in these sessions, I normally try to address those who want to come and study here, especially masters. So that basically means they have an undergraduate degree. Now, I think there's other means that you can come to the US, if you don't have a degree, but I don't like focusing on that. For me, I focus on specifically those who want to come and study masters. Okay, and they are serious, they want to be funded, and they want to live and work here in the US long term. Well, I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know anything about dairy cows, so I try to focus on what I'm good at, Wycliffe. Also, anything to do with farming, I have no idea. I think that's it, Mutembe. I think we've done 1 hour, right? Someone is asking, will you give out the link for companies so that we can reach out to you? Yes, you just need to, you can see our company's name, it's Abstech America. Go there, check out what we do. Go to www.abstechamerica.com. Also, Mutembe pinned the link to check whether you qualify for a student loan if you want to come and study your master's here in the US. That company is called Empower Financing. You just need to click on that link. It's pinned on the comments, I believe. So you just need to click on that, check your eligibility, and if you're eligible, you can be able to get a student loan. But also remember, we help international students to come and study here in the US. So for us, it's not just a matter of just coming. There's more to that. All you need to do is just go to our website and check us out. Anything else, Mutembe? I think you are done, right?
Asante sana. So guys, mnaweza fuata Bob kwa Bob Mwiti channel.
Yes.
Link zake ziko hapo, nimeweka hiyo Empower Financing, and then pia muendelee kumsikiza because he is just educating you, na yeye anatakanga wale watu waerevu, the smart guys. So ukiuliza mambo ya dairy farming anashangaa. But I think with that,
Yeah,
we watch it another day.
Yes.
Wycliffe anasema thanks for assisting them.
No problem. Anytime, if you know anybody out there who may be very, maybe someone is here and maybe this is not their thing, but maybe you know someone who is out there, they are bright and they may be interested in getting in the US, just spread the word. I'm always here on Wednesdays and Wednesdays and Sundays. Today I'm here on Thursday because we could not hold the session yesterday, but I'm always here on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Kenyan time. It's usually my time here, it's around 1. Okay.
Unaweza jibu huyu mtu before tumalize?
I mean, yeah, if you have some experience in IT, also it all depends. That's what I said. Like, even IT itself is very broad. Let's say, for example, your work is just to fix someone's computer that is broken. That kind of job, you won't go far with it in terms of getting work-related green card. Okay, you need, like, for example, skills that you are solving. You need to solve complex problems for companies, basically. That's how you can be able to get these green cards through employment. So if you have that, yes, just come through school, because I've said the student visa it has a clear path to citizenship, and then you'll be able now to figure it out and be able to get good jobs.
Where is the registration in Kenya?
Yeah. Just go to our website, abstechamerica.com. You'll be able to see what we do, and if there's anything that you're interested in, there's a way out. You'll be able to figure out exactly what to do. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Bob.
No problem. Anytime. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
You've been watching Success with Bob Mwiti Show, brought to you by Upstake America. Come back next time to hear more steps and missteps that I took on the path to becoming a successful immigrant in USA. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn.